Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Bringing you another presentation of Mancave101. It's not the podcast tonight, but we're doing a little review. But let me introduce the guys. Brooklyn in the house. Big Chase, what's going on?
What's up, sir?
From the Man Cave and a new angle, loving life. Leo, what's up?
Always changing them angles, baby. Gotta hit a different spot every night.
All right. Hey. All right,
hey, family show, bro. Family
show. All right. So we got a couple of guys here tonight, and we are going to talk about Black Adam. We're going to do a full spoilers review. We're going to talk everything from the movie on Black Adam. 3 of us saw it this weekend, and we got some things to say. And let's take it away. I mean, where do we start with this movie? Let's just start with the totality. Like, how are we feeling overall afterwards?
Okay, let's do this. Let's start with all the things that you loved about the movie. Let's just start with some love. Let's spread some love. So, first of all, the graphics, the videography was dope. The Rock definitely in my eyes didn't, he didn't, fall. He did his thing on there. He definitely embodied Black Adam as a character. I want him to be a little bit more dark and aggressive, but I can live with what he gave us and whatnot. I like that the stories are keeping their ethnic backgrounds, which is so important and whatnot, because too often we see that, it's always some American person that goes to another country and finds what the people that have been living there for 100 years couldn't find, and now they're superheroes. But they're keeping a lot of the ethnicity with respect to that. A lot of action in here. Just a lot of comic book, accurate stuff and whatnot. They definitely did their thing. I can't say I was mad at it.
Yeah, my opinion is pretty much the same. The graphics, the script was decent for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I give it to them. They did decent on it. I didn't get no people's eyebrow, no rock bottom, no people's elbow. I'm in for that. Okay, The Rock. Me being a comic book head, okay, I wanted the pointy ears, Rock. Okay, I'm sorry. All right.
What are you nitpicking for, bro?
I'm nitpicking. I know it's a nitpick.
Say that for the second half. Say it for the second half.
Okay. All right. Let me say, but I did like all the comic accurate costumes.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking excellent job. The backstory, great job with the pyramid. Or great jobs with the digging and the accuracy of his legend. What else did I freaking loved about this movie? Let's see. Just the totality of seeing what he's been locked away for 5,000 years. So him coming out not knowing shit, but he knows how to speak English. That's the one thing that kind of threw me the fuck. I was like, all right, you're God. You're God.
I'm a little comic booky, but
Exactly. I was like, you know what? I get it, but you're still a badass. The way that he was yeeting people all over the place.
Listen. When he threw my man in the ocean, bro, I was like, yo, are you this is like a 25-mile throw of a human body. What are you doing?
I think there was I know I'm skipping ahead in the movie. I don't want to skip ahead if we're going to start from beginning to end, but there was a part when kind of in the middle of the movie when him and the Justice Society, after they had their first fight, all this, that, and the other thing, and Black Adam, they held Hawkman had 2 of them for investigation, and he brought them back to the apartment real quick.
Yeah.
Black Adam scooped them up and picked them up. And he said he was like, where's the boy? Blah blah blah. And then they were talking, and then he dropped both of them, and then Hawkman had to go rescue them, and he brought them back, and he was like, "You said you wouldn't kill anybody." He was like, "I didn't. You said you were gonna pick them back. I knew you were there. You picked them back up." I was like, yeah, that shit was funny. I was like, because it made me feel like Black Adam really don't give a fuck, but like at the same point in time, like, he was kind of like he played into the comedy as much as he could, you know what I mean, while still being serious with the undertone.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, like I think they did a good job with the script overall. And I mean, let's just jump into it. Let's just say, what did we think of the Justice Society? If you want to go member by member, what do we think of the Justice Society as a whole as their introduction to DC?
I thought it was interesting. I thought that Dr. Fate's always been a favorite character, so I like the way that they represented him and
They did him right.
They did him right.
For
Fucking
sure.
right. Adam Smasher, they did right.
Adam Smasher is correct.
Hawkman, they did right.
Oh, listen, all big ups to Aldous Hodge. Yo, he did his thing as Hawkman. I really wish he was fierce in this movie. But let's be clear, he got his ass kicked all over the
screen. Got his ass kicked the whole movie. Literally, the whole movie got his ass kicked.
He was like talking shit and getting dragged and whatnot. But
he kept coming back.
He was fierce, and you know what I'm saying, and he was, he definitely wasn't a sucker, but he just was, beyond his ability. And the one thing we have to remember about Hawkman is he actually comes from a warrior planet. Right. So this is how they get down. But he wasn't skills. He wasn't strong enough for a Black Adam though.
No, definitely not.
You know what this fight reminded me of is the Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, but
everybody knows that Superman would have fucking
Superman clears. You know what I mean? Superman clears. That's just
okay. But here's the thing: as of I want to say that the '90s Justice League, Batman took a different turn where he was a lot more darker, a lot more strategic, used a lot more of his resources and his intelligence as a strategist is what makes him really dangerous because he thinks. Hawkman isn't that guy. Hawkman is the guy that goes in, he's going for the kill, he's got weapons, the mace turns into the battle axe and all of that. That's just who he is. So, you expect to see the smash and clash, but I'm like, bro, I just was waiting for Black Adam to rip his wings off and end the fight, to be honest.
Dude, he actually said that in the movie. He was like, "I'm gonna rip your fucking wings off."
Like I was waiting for that the whole thing.
I would say for me personally, this is how I looked at it. Again, I'm not as just full disclosure. I'm not as comic book accurate as far as DC goes. I haven't read a lot because I'm more into Marvel than I am DC. I'm open about that. But this was my take just from watching the movie as a whole. I dug Hawkman. I got the character, totally understood. I also thought the CGI when they did his mansion and the jet coming up, I was like, oh, that looked really good. I was like, they did really clean with that CGI with the jet and opening of the thing. And
that was all X-Men though.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, it was a ripoff for sure. For sure. But it looked clean.
Yeah.
Dr. Fate to me was dope. The whole I loved his powers. I loved the helmet was really dope. The way he was able to hold Black Adam off with some of his powers for a little bit, even though he knew he couldn't really maybe fully defeat him. He held him back for a little bit. I was like, okay. And then the fact that, the way they had him do the heroic exit, I was like, okay, that was fitting because we all kind of figured Pierce Bronson, right? That's his name. We all figured Pierce Bronson probably wasn't going to be in a lot of movies moving forward based on his timetable, age, all that. He probably wasn't going to be in DC long-ish term. Right. You know what I mean? For like the long run. Cyclone to me was kind of whack. I'm just being honest with you. She didn't really do anything the whole movie. She had 2 scenes where she kind of used her powers, and I was like, all right, cool. But they made her seem like she's just super smart and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, cool. And then
she has nanotech, that's why.
Right. And then to me, Adam Smasher was kind of like comedic relief. I like the fact that he really knew what he was doing because he just got his uncle's powers in the suit. So he was kind of like comedic relief. But when he got gigantic, I was like, oh, he's pretty cool. But like he doesn't really know what he's doing yet, and then he got knocked the fuck out by the Rock. So I was like, all right, he just knocked him out. So I was like, all right, cool. He doesn't know what he's doing yet. He's a kid.
Dude, when I saw that, I was like, yeesh.
My man punched him in the chin. I was like, oh man.
Adam Smasher and the Atom are DC's version of Ant-Man. And I already knew that was coming. I'm like, okay, he's gonna get knocked out flat as soon as he gets big. That's a guarantee. Cyclone, I think, was really there for the kids. When you look at Cyclone, you notice when she uses her powers, she's supposed to have wind, but there's like all of these rainbow colors and whatnot. So I think that she was really just there to kind of draw the kids, the younger kids, to see that and go, ooh, and whatnot.
It kind of reminded me of Weak Storm, like super Weak Storm, like almost like a. I know obviously I don't know what character came first, but she reminded me of Storm, but with way whacker powers. Honestly, like that was just.
Yeah. The thing is that the nanotech helped her so much.
Of course,
that's what makes her the foreign. She knows how to defeat people just because the nanotech is helping her brain, and the brain is making her more smarter than anybody else. And then when she was on the plane, when she was on Hawkman's plane, she already knew how to mess around with it.
Yeah, she already knew what she was doing with that, and I think that's really her strength. The wind power and all of that is just kind of.
Plus, she's very young in this, so maybe when she gets a little bit older, she'll be able to horn like the same thing with Atom Smasher.
Sure,
because Atom Smasher, dude, when he gets going, in the regular comic books.
I even thought that. I was like, he's kind of a cool character, but he seems like he doesn't know what he's doing yet. So I'm like, all right.
It's all new to him at this point.
Yeah.
From
you know what this reminded me is Justice League, and Atom Smasher is the Flash.
Right. That's
he's just happy to be here.
Right. Exactly.
He's happy to be here.
His uncle even told him, "Don't fuck up my suit."
So let me ask you guys this: what did you think about? I'm gonna stick to the story for a second. What do we think about the story of him being kind of the hero that was saving his land, and then kind of the plot twist in the middle of, oh, well, the son was really the hero. He gave his dad the powers to kind of like to save his life and da 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 this, that, and the other thing. Like, what do we think about the tie-in with, Black Adam's the savior of the land, but yet he's kind of really not a hero because he, what do we think about that in total?
Because he cares more about his people than anything else. Because you got to realize he's a descendant of a slave. He is a slave. His son was a slave. His wife was a slave. So everyone was a slave. So he cares more about his people, but his people most likely, that's why they had him build a statue. That's why he made all those people build his son a statue. Because he always knew that I am not a hero. I went crazy and got revenge because you guys killed my son and my wife.
Right.
So that whole point of aspect of it, any man will go crazy. So, but he's gonna rule with the iron fist.
Right.
I'm the strongest thing on this fucking planet, and at that time, so there's nothing that could have stopped him.
Yeah, I think I mean, listen, as far as a plot twist, I thought it was dope. You know what I mean? Because we weren't sure what the whole plot twist when they were saying he's not who you think he is. So we weren't sure what that was about. And I know that the story is about the fact that Black Adam's son was killed. So we kept wondering in the beginning, like, where this tie in. And let me say this. For me, technically, the movie doesn't actually start until they tell the story about what happens to the son and the family.
Agreed.
Which is like 30, 40 minutes into the movie. Right. So everything from that point going to the end of the movie is actually the real movie. The rest of that, they didn't even like. You didn't even have to do the rest of that as far as I was concerned and whatnot. Right. But
they could have still done the releasing of the scene of him getting out.
Yeah, I mean that part of it. But I'm just saying, like, the beginning of the movie for me is when
the reason why.
Because from there it grows, it goes up. The rest of it is just like, okay, let's do this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and then they finally tell a story, and now the whole thing kicks off from there. So I don't know. I guess somebody thought they knew what they were doing, but that should have been the beginning of the movie.
I think this is the first time that, again, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, because I've picked and chosen my DC movies to a point. Right. This is the first time that I can remember going between DC and Marvel, honestly, that I saw heroes come in and the people who they were actually there to quote unquote help were actually against them. Like, I kind of thought, I was like, the Justice Society showed up and the people of, I forget the name of where he was, but the people were actually angry. The Justice Society was there stopping Black Adam from doing what he was doing. Yeah. So like the last time I can remember seeing that is when we watched like the Avengers with the Sokovia Accords and Wanda accidentally blew up the building and all those people hated her and all that happened. I don't remember if DC did anything like that before. It's the first time I can remember like the heroes almost being the bad guys to an extent in a movie. Not really bad guys, but you know what I mean? Like people looking at them like
they were unpopular. Not so much, but this is where you get characters like Amanda Waller coming in because with her program, what they try to do is get more government control of the superheroes. So now you have this whole thing where there's basically like a public smear campaign against these superheroes that don't want to come underneath government control and whatnot. They don't really have a thing where they go someplace and they're unpopular. The Young Justice cartoon series had that. going on. But and let's and be understand that for the Justice Society, they're government activated, so they can't just come there and fix whatever is wrong just because they know that it's wrong. But the people that live there don't know this. They just know that there's superheroes out there. They didn't never come to save us, and now that somebody has come to save us, y'all want to come and stop him. So we don't like y'all. Get the hell out of here.
Exactly, but this is the whole thing of being trying to rule a populated area in a different country. You have somebody who's literally making your life a living hell. Somebody's trying to save you, and then you ask the people that, oh, you guys are superheroes. Where the fuck
where were you?
Where was Superman? Where was Batman? Where was the Flash? Where was all you guys could have took a little quick mission over here and kicked all these people out? But no, it's not in government interest for them to be out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's why when you do like hitting into real life, this is why people hate a lot of things.
Of course,
when you don't have enough resources, enough powers, and this country has been enslaved since Black Adam been put away in the tomb. Like the lady said, we've been conquered since Black Adam been away. Our hero's gone.
Yeah,
we've been conquered by so many different nations that we don't know where to start.
Right.
Yeah,
and we lost all our history and all our everything else.
Go ahead, Chase.
Well, I was going to say, but again, this is where the timeline is important because they're unaware that their Black Adam is the son who gets killed after he gives his father the powers and whatnot. So they're just unaware of that point. And then especially after after he goes into the pyramid and he blows the pyramid up with the king in it, the wizards that gave Shazam his powers, that gave Black Adam his powers, they take that back and entomb him. So at that point, even if he wanted to be the hero, he couldn't be. But the general populace is unaware of this fact.
Right, because they've been conquered so many times. Their history goes down to the hip side until somebody digs it. Literally, they have to write it on the wall for them to realize what the hell it is.
Yeah.
I do want to mention that I thought it was cool. I don't mean to be jumping around like this, but I feel like that's kind of just how we do it on this podcast. So it is what it is. I love the fact they gave my man Hawkman a little bit of redemption at the end when they had him pick up the helmet and kind of do some of the Dr. Fate shit to help Black Adam out at the end. I was like, all right, that was dope. They gave Hawkman a little redemption.
They got a little reprieve.
They've been in a team for fucking more than 50, 70 years.
Right. So
freaking Dr. Fate, when Dr. Fate fell asleep a couple times, his ass was playing around with that damn helmet.
It's funny though, because even throughout the movie, when Dr. Fate would like touch the helmet and they'd show all the flashes on screen, I was kind of like in my mind, like I almost kind of saw. I was like, so basically, if all goes according to plan, Hawkman's probably going to die. But if I had to guess, since Dr. Fate knows this, he's going to throw himself in harm's way to try and save Hawkman. Like I thought it like 30 minutes into the movie. I was like, he's probably going to sacrifice himself to save him if I had to guess.
Right.
Like it wasn't something that you didn't see coming if you were paying attention. You know what I mean?
I think it would have been dope if they, instead of what they did in the beginning, if they had to just sent the Justice Society over there, gave them a chance to really like show their powers off. Give Hawkman a couple of battles where he just really like kicks ass. Everybody's like, yo, he's dope. Then to see him, get destroyed after you just seen him do what he did, what he did, takes everything to another level and whatnot. It just kind of wasted the beginning of the movie for me.
I almost feel like, to me, and again, it's really tough for me because I go back. It's really hard to compare the two because right now, obviously, it's apples and oranges, Marvel and DC and all that stuff. But I almost feel like if this was, but let's hypothetically say this was Marvel, right? Hypothetically, I feel like the Justice Society would have deserved like a Disney Plus series to introduce themselves. And then you kind of weed them into Black Adam type shit. You know what I mean? Like it kind of felt like you were throwing so many new characters at this at the same time that you were like, oh shit, he could do this. Oh shit, she does that. Oh, and you were kind of like, it's like 5 origin stories in one, and you're like, oh man, like
And you're not even getting a full origin story.
That's what I mean.
You don't even get a Dr. Fate origin story.
All of a sudden, the Justice Society was just there. You were like, oh, okay.
Same thing like Justice League.
Right.
Justice League had a little bit more of a break because you had Wonder Woman already established.
Right.
But you didn't have Flash. You had Flash the show established, but it's a different kind of Flash. So that was a complete reboot in Justice League. And then you had Cyborg, never been seen before.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, but you know what the difference is, though? I think that the characters from the Justice League, the core characters, have already been seen. Sure. I thought that them
still missing one.
Them adding Cyborg was cool because again, you're talking about he's part of the Teen Titans, and they pulled him in. But I was actually surprised that they did the Justice Society. I was like, wow, y'all really went back with this because they're out at the time where this is connected to them. But I wasn't mad at it, but I was like, I was a little, that's why I said the first part of this movie really should have been introduction to their powers, seeing them kick ass and be the heroes, and then you go switch gears and go into this other thing and whatnot.
So this is the thing that DC does, though. They throw so many damn characters at you at the same time.
That's the thing, man.
That's what basically makes the movie,
right?
Because you basically have, okay, let me introduce you guys all this stuff instead of saying, okay, let's build this, because this could have been a really epic fight. But we also know that The Rock wanted this movie so bad,
right?
They were gonna give him whatever the fuck he wanted,
of course.
So okay, let's throw the Black Adam at almost an impossible task of two younger superheroes and two older superheroes, and see what he fares up, and let's write a story about that.
Sure.
But if you had all of them at their max powers, they would have given Black Adam a run for his fucking money.
Oh, for sure, probably.
It's a fact.
So I think we've been nice so far. I think we've been good about the movie. What overall critiques do we have about the movie? Whether it's comparisons, anything, plots, like what do we, off the top of our head, what do we think? Give me some critiques you guys thought. Like, what did you think was like,
The Men in fucking Black was not needed. Okay?
True.
I don't need Will Smith coming out there and smacking the shit out of the fucking Rock. Okay?
I mean, wait, are you talking about the guys when they got him out of the tomb initially? Is that the guys you're talking about?
No, the Men in Black. That's what the kid called them. He was like, "Oh, I'm the Men in Black." Whatever the fuck. You need a tagline when you go. How do you need a superhero there? He said, "Well, I'm the Man in Black."
I mean, like, it did kind of bother me the whole time. They called him Teth Adam the entire time until the end of the movie. I was like, okay, I get it's origin story, but like, come on, man. Like,
yeah.
I was like, all right.
That's his whole,
Of course.
Ancient.
I know Chase had a lot to say about them biting from Marvel when they weren't trying to bite from the same apple.
God, listen. Every time I turn around, there's a bite from the apple. When the ground opens up and then the fucking ship looks like the X-Men ship.
Like, it looks like the Blackbird. Yes, it does.
You fucking kidding me, bro? Like, y'all just gonna steal that shit like that ain't happened?
CGI was clean though.
It should be. It's probably leftover B-roll from the X-Men and shit.
And they took the front off the plane. They took the front off the plane from Fantastic Four when the Fantastic Four jet separates like that.
I'm like, yo,
I noticed that too.
Y'all just gonna steal that shit and not even say nothing. Like, it's cool, huh? Like that ain't just happened. Like, okay, I see.
And then
I think there were other scenes in the movie that I said the same, like that whole scene where it was the fighter jets. I was like, it's like I'm watching Iron Man. Like, what are we? I was like, I'm literally watching Iron Man right now. Like, what are we doing?
all of that. Listen, there was so much thievery in this movie.
There was definitely thievery.
So much thievery. Sure.
And The Rock could say all he wants. There wasn't. He's trying to be original, but like, come on, there were bites.
Come on, man.
There were bites in the movie, dude. Come on.
And you can't tell. And he can't say that he's never seen a Marvel movie.
There's no way.
Sorry.
There's no way.
I am fucking sorry. That whole jet scene, that was a whole fucking rip.
That was Iron Man, bro.
That's
literally
Iron Man.
That's literally Iron Man. Literally Iron Man. I thought it the whole time. I was like, it's like I'm watching Iron Man over again, but there's no suit. There's just a dude in a fucking cape. Whatever.
Everybody knows me for I love the gratuitous violence.
There was violence in this movie. A lot of it, to be
honest.
With you.
They are toting the line with this PG-13 shit though. They are really toting this fucking line, yo.
That first scene when he popped out of the tomb and he ripped through the rock and grabbed dude by the neck and shot. I was like, oh, this is really. I was like, this is violent.
Oh, no,
like I'm in. It's violent though.
Listen, when it got violent, it got violent.
It got violent.
It got violent. Like whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like
how the fuck is this PG-13? This is what I don't say. Just because they're not showing blood?
They didn't show a lot of blood.
Yeah. So it seems like that fine line is, how much blood there is, and then you can have the violence, but I guess if you're not basically desecrating the body to a point, then it can remain PG-13.
Yo, he literally fucking did what's it called on the guard? He literally did the guy from Mortal Kombat. What's his name? Raiden. He literally did Raiden to the fucking guy, held him by his spine. Bah! His head falls off. Jaw's rolling the other way. His skull is rolling the other way. I was like, okay, so you telling me this is PG-13?
Yeah,
I mean, like
2022, yeah.
I mean, like we said this though. Black Adam again. This is the same shit we talk about all the Marvel movies and series and all that. Black Adam's a violent character. He doesn't give a fuck. Like you literally had to see that he didn't care that he was ripping these dudes' heads off and yeeting them for 8 million feet. He didn't care. Hey, bro, he didn't care. Remember when he picked up dude from the fucking farmyard, the last dude left on the bike, and he yeeted my man, and then he got a call and he was like, "Where's the witness?" And he was like, "Nah, he didn't make it." He's just watching him fly a million feet that way. He's like, he's falling in the air. I'm like, what? I'm like, what are we doing? Like,
that was literally a Looney Tunes. That was literally a Looney Tunes moment.
Listen, when he threw dude in the ocean, bro, that was no good. Because I mean, bro, he was almost in outer space.
He was.
No, he used one helicopter to kill another helicopter.
Yeah,
How about that?
Yeah.
He grabbed one helicopter and said, "Okay, I'm gonna hit you from your face to your face. Let's see what happens."
I do have to say, if I had another critique, I would say the final boss battle. I'm not gonna call it a boss battle, the final bad guy battle, I couldn't have been less invested in, to be completely honest with you. I just wasn't invested in that boss battle at all. Like I kind of knew he was gonna win, and I was kind of just like, because that's how these movies go. But I was just like, that guy got his powers so late in the movie that you were kind of like, okay, so he's gonna fight him for 10 minutes and then it's gonna be over. You were like, all right.
Zombies were horrible.
They were bad.
The demons,
like all of a sudden these demons popped up and like these regular people with sticks and shit could kill them. What? What are we talking about?
Which is stolen from Scorpion King.
Right. What is what I'm saying?
Yes,
but like, people with shovels and bats were like beating demon zombies. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, this is a little weird.
This is how we keep it PG-13. It's how we keep it in that box. And and I think that's my frustration too, because I'm like, listen, we're too late into 2000s for this type of light shit in order to try to make a movie, especially if you're telling me you're trying to go up against Marvel with these movies. You can't sit middle of the road. You just can't. If it's a kids movie, make it a kids movie, make it fun. If you're gonna do gratuitous violence, bro, you gotta go ahead and get it in.
The gratuitous violence in it was great, but this is the one scene that fucked up the whole movie in the beginning for me. The guy in the beginning of the movie when he Shazammed out of it, right, and he's already in the desert, and the guy throws a rocket at him, and the rocket has some blue shit on it, and it cut him and it hurt him. So you telling me nobody else knew that rocket could hurt him? And you guys have and you have a force field that can stop Black Adam from coming in and grabbing you and throwing you all over the place.
Right. So
you have the technology to beat him already.
At that point, if you find out, are you not loading guns with that shit and trying to shoot his ass?
Exactly. That's the one point that I was like, okay, but then he's out. He's knocked out and he's hurt on the ground, and then after he gets up, he uses the thunder to fucking heal himself again. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, so if they just launch a whole bunch of fucking same rockets towards your ass at the same time, and then trap you in that shield that they have, that's it.
That's it. Right.
Game over. Black Adam, game over. And you're planning to go against Superman.
Yeah, I think that part's probably going to be because let's be clear.
Well, I was
Black,
gonna say we kind of have to we're
we
gonna
know
have to.
we know this Black Adam's not over. It's like Black Adam 2 coming. So I think this becomes an Easter egg with the fact that he's susceptible to Eternium and whatnot. So
So overall, so I guess because we've summed up a pretty good chunk of the movie. If we missed anything, obviously we apologize, but we've summed up a pretty good portion. Post credit scene. Viola Davis is talking to Black Adam, and she says, full spoilers. Viola Davis, I forget what's Viola Davis's character's name in this. I forget. You guys know? Amanda Waller gets on the thing with Black Adam and says, whatever. Don't make me get basically forced. I have other forces outside of Earth that can stop you because he knows nobody here can stop him. And he says, bring them on. And then fucking Henry Cavill drops from the fucking sky. And he says, Black Adam, we need to talk. Morbius the fuck out of me, why don't you? So that's the end of the post-credit scene where we see Henry Cavill and The Rock, aka Black Adam, face to face with Superman. And basically teasing that eventually down the road, there's going to be a fight between Black Adam and Superman, which are supposedly the two strongest forces in the DC universe at this point that we know of, right?
Right.
I mean, the DCEU universe.
Right.
So what do we think about the post-credit scene? What do we think is going to happen? When do we see this fight? How far down the road? All that blah, 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 blah.
I don't think that this is going to develop in the way that we think it would or might want it to be. This is going to turn into a conflict of interest where it's a conflict of interest and a conflict of morals because you have two heroes here, honestly. But the difference is one hero has no problem like taking life, and the other one is completely about not taking life. So that's an automatically odd couple thing that happens. And unlike Hawkman and Dr. Fate. Superman's more apt to like get into a squabble and be able to stand his ground against Black Adam. But I think that is it's what I expected when the whole conversation started. I'm like, okay, here comes Henry Cavill now. Okay, just I mean, they didn't do bad with the delivery. You know what I mean? But it was expected at this point. You know what I mean? Like I expected.
It is the thing that's bothering me about this. Where does it fall in the DCU?
I don't know that it does.
You know what I mean? Because you got in Zack Snyder's Justice League, you got fucking Darkseid. That's your Thanos.
Right.
You brought him out too early. Now you're bringing out Superman again, talking to Black Adam. You're gonna do. If you get a Superman Man of Steel 2, if that, then you're going to have him fight fucking Black Adam with one movie? You're rushing. This is being rushed too fucking much. It's being rushed. They're jumping too many times. That's why they needed to keep the WB and say, okay, I'm going to do a spinoff of Hawkman. You got Marvel, Disney Plus is doing this. They're beginning their stories there. Okay, fuck it. Copyright, you already copied them all over this fucking movie. Let's do it all over again. Hawkman, you get your own series, 6 episodes. Dr. Fate, you get 6 episodes. Boom. Then we bring out The Rock. You get Rock's origin story. I mean, the Black Adam's origin story. Then we bring out the Justice League and Adam Smasher and all these other people. You do it in the right proper order. You would have had a fucking mega colossal hit.
I mean, we're not just gonna sit here and ignore the fact that Warner Brothers and DCEU has financial problems up the wazoo, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's just what they don't have the budget Marvel does to do those things.
But the thing is, but they can make that budget though if they do it right.
Listen, at this point, I hear you. It's the way they're supposed to get laid out. But at this point, you got a couple of problems, starting with their financial problems and restructuring. The other big problem is you're not about to tell The Rock that he has to wait for fucking 12 episodes of something else to come out before his movie comes out. When you're fucking lagging so far behind Marvel, you're never going to catch up. Like, if you listen, God forbid The Rock ends up in Marvel.
Not going to happen at this point.
I'm just saying, but I'm just saying, like, this Black Adam thing falls through the ground like Blade is falling through the ground, and now The Rock ends up in the in the MCU, forget it. You're done.
But yo, that's how everybody starts off. You got to make a bad, shitty movie to be great in another one.
You're done.
But I don't think this movie was shitty.
No,
exactly.
It was okay.
It wasn't terrible.
Like, okay, let's just say, I know we're gonna wrap soon. If we had to give your out of 10, this movie was blank out of 10, 0 being the worst, 10 being the best. What would you rate this movie on a scale of 0 to 10? God, I'll let you guys go first.
I'm gonna do 7.5. We'll do 7.5.
I'd give this movie a 7 out of 10. Like, I would watch it again. I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Give it a 6.
Okay. I mean, but see what I'm saying though? That 6 is not a shitty movie. That's okay movie.
It's not.
That's a movie
that would be a movie that I'll say, okay, I can watch.
Would you watch Black Adam or would you watch Thor: Love and Thunder again? Oh. Come on, man. Damn it. That's not fair. Come on, man. You know what the answer is. The answer is Black Adam.
Yes,
the answer is Black Adam. Come on. And I love Thor. I love Thor. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna watch Thor: Love and Thunder again unless somebody makes me holding my eyes open in front of a screen by torture. Like Black Adam wasn't a bad movie. It was a solid origin story. Two characters. It was cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought it was dope. You know, for the most part, there were some things obviously that you can point out, but overall, I wasn't angry about the movie. You know, I thought it was dope. It's an origin story. You know what I say about origin stories? You just got to live through the shit, and then I'll make my official judgment when Black Adam 2 drops, and we see what they bring back for the next installation of it.
Well, Shazam 2 comes out next.
Yeah, Shazam 2 comes out next. I don't want him fighting. Fucking either Shazam or Superman yet.
Okay, so
it's gonna fall to the dark side. It's gonna fall to the dark side.
So let's just. I saw the trailer for Shazam 2 has nothing to do with this thing has going on here.
Doesn't seem like it.
It picks up from Shazam 1, and Shazam at this point is really a kids movie. It's not this. You know what I'm saying? So this complete disconnect. Anything that has Shazam running through the Henry Cavill at Black Adam series story is purely coincidental. Purely.
Yeah, but that's the fight that's supposed to happen though. It's not Superman.
Yeah, I don't.
It's supposed to be Shazam and Black Adam going at.
Yeah, I don't. First of all, they made the mistake. If they want to do that, they made the mistake of making Shazam's character Bobby Batts, the young character. He never grew. See, in the comic book, when Bobby Batts says Shazam and he turns into Shazam, he's a grown man in his mind. In the movie, he's still Bobby Batts, even when he's Shazam. So you cannot put him in there with Black Adam and Henry Cavill Superman. He does not fit.
Before he gets yeeted into the ocean like somebody. I will say this. If I had to judge based off power levels right now, I mean, like, there's no way Henry Cavill Superman doesn't clear Black Adam right now. He would wreck his shit.
I don't know that.
I think he would wreck his shit, bro.
I don't know that. I'm not going to say that because
you think so?
No, dude, because
they gotta make it interesting. That's the only way. This is the thing that
Chase, how, bro? How?
There's no possible way that Black Adam beats fucking Superman. None. Unless he has kryptonite, he ain't beating him. I'm sorry.
First of all,
if a rocket can take out fucking Black Adam, what do you think Superman's lasers can do?
No,
well, his lasers are made of that whatever that is, that material. So
listen, you have to remember when they're building Black Adam, and just like when they're building Shazam, they give him the powers of some of the most powerful beings that ever lived. His power is magical, but it's also cosmic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Superman's power is actually based off of the yellow sun here. So I can't just say, oh, well, Superman would wash him, because it's not really the case. Technically, Shazam is Superman's equal. He's just not his equal here because he's still a kid inside. So you can't just say Superman would wash him. It's not true. You know what I'm saying?
The only person that will actually beat fucking Superman, is Doomsday. That's the only person that actually beat him, and Batman. Because you got to realize, Batman is the only person that beat Superman. Batman beat everybody in the Justice League.
Oh yeah,
because he planned ahead.
He
had a contingency. I don't know how to contingency plan for everybody in the Justice League and almost every other superhero on the fucking planet. He knew everybody's weakness, everybody how to beat everybody, how to stop everybody, how to in case anybody went crazy. He was literally the handcuffs that kept everybody in line, but everybody thought he was weak, and so. If a Rocket could beat Black Adam in this, not the comic book era, but in this fucking era now.
That's the precedent you set in this movie.
In this movie, right. If a Rocket could beat Black Adam now, and Superman went up against Zod and Doomsday already. And he could have killed Batman in fucking Batman versus Superman.
Martha.
We're going back to the same thing because for all Superman's power, it's still a radioactive rock from his planet that weakens him the most. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's got a weakness. This element, Eternium, just because it is technically Eternium powers the underworld, which is the opposite of who Black Adam's power comes from. So that's the reason why the Rocket was able to injure him. But nothing else in the universe seems to affect him. So that's what I'm saying. Like if you take those two, if I throw away Kryptonite and I throw away Eternium, then what stops Black Adam? There's nothing.
We don't really know at this point.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, at this point, I can't say that Superman will wash him.
Here's all I know. If DC decides to do it, they better bring the fight to the sky because otherwise the two of them are wiping out a fucking continent or two. like ain't no way that fight's gonna happen on Earth, right? It can't.
In the series when Superman goes dark and Lois Lane dies and she loses his son, he literally rules the fucking planet.
Of course he does, because nothing can stop him. There's nothing that can stop him.
He killed fucking and the thing is they haven't even brought in fucking Green Lantern in yet.
Yeah, well, they gotta redo that and make that proper.
Yeah,
and
once they do Green Lantern right, then we're talking about Wonder Woman as well, because Wonder Woman held her own against fucking Doomsday.
Well, technically, and that's what I'm saying. Like technically, Wonder Woman holds her own against Superman also.
Yeah,
she's while she's not quite as strong, her power's not as unlimited. She holds her own against Superman. So you know what I mean, like.
I guess we're gonna kind of have to see, because like I feel like DC has a lot of explaining to do in terms of power levels.
Yeah.
Because right now it's kind of almost unclear. Because the way, like Leo said, kind of the way I took away from it is that, in this movie, a Rocket did wound Black Adam for a pretty decent portion of it, and as we know, as everybody knows, Superman's weakness is Kryptonite. What is it? Kryptonite. Sorry, I said it wrong. Kryptonite. So they both have weaknesses, but neither of those weaknesses are really readily accessible to the other. So it's kind of more like, what do we get? It's almost an unmovable force meets an immovable object type shit. So it's kind of like DC's got levels as far as power levels go to explain. It's kind of like the age old, like, who would win in Marvel fights type shit. And there's so many people you can name that you're like, oh, they're almost of the same level, but like, if this one's weaker,
so many different aspects go into it.
There's too many different, right?
You know what I mean? It's like, Superman is empowered by the sun. All right. Nobody's taking out the fucking sun.
That's what I'm saying, right? There's levels. There's levels to this.
But again, this is again where things get twisted. Number one, at this point, Amanda Waller doesn't know about Eternium. Number two, there have been cartoons where you can't put out the sun, but they have filtered the light coming through the sun, which changes Superman's powers. So there's ways to get around it. You know what I'm saying? But these are the things I'm talking about. Like, this is why you can't just say, well, Superman over him or the other, because we still at this point don't know. You know what I mean? We know that he's all powerful for the most part. It would seem all of his powers come straight out of Egyptian and Greco-Roman culture. Some of they're giving him the powers of some of the most powerful beings that ever live, immortal or not. So, we have to see where that thing goes and whatnot.
Right.
You know, we have to see where that goes.
I mean, now
there's so many loopholes in this.
Here's the other thing I was going to say. I was literally about to say there's loopholes in the story, and not only that, can DC actually give us a full goddamn story of how we get to this Superman versus Black Adam fight without it being loopholes and question marks and who's more? You know, we need more. There's more questions need to be answered in the DCEU before we get to that fight. It's like the movie's up on the docket. You're kind of like, well, where are we going to get answers to these questions? It doesn't seem like it.
The only people, in my personal humble opinion, that could write this story are the people that write the animated DC series.
Oh, for sure.
Ooh, yeah, for sure.
Okay?
Yeah, for sure.
The dudes, they get done.
The dudes who write Justice League Dark and those types of movies, those are the dudes who can write this story. But as we see, DC does not recruit these people when they should.
When they're in their own company.
It's like, bro,
how the fuck you know the guy who wrote this shit? He works for you. He's literally 3 cubicles down.
And bypassing them. Because, dude, listen, some of these DC stories that were on HBO Max are some of the hottest shit ever done.
Their animation is surpassing.
Their animation is top notch.
I'm talking about the story. You know, storylines is just like this is what you should be doing for live film, live video. And it's not making it to the big screen.
The issue with that ties back into mature / PG-13. I think, in my opinion, they don't want to live broadcast or live produce that kind of violence and storytelling.
Imagine this.
I wish they would. Don't get me wrong.
Imagine we get the killing of Joker.
Yeah,
live action,
dude. It'd be crazy.
Shit.
I was just watching. Which one was it? The one where they killed the Green Lantern. They killed one. Was it? Is it
Phantom Menace? Is it Phantom?
I forgot which one it is. But it's this one where they kill a Green Lantern, bro. Like,
yeah.
Like, dude, like if that doesn't scar your child, I don't know what would. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a soft generation where.
And I mean the way that they killed them because they like speared them. So like, if that doesn't scar your child, I don't know what would. So what are you worried about? You know what I mean? And this is on HBO Max. This ain't even like I gotta go take my kid to the theater to see it.
And they can this is the thing with DC. They can put it right on HBO Max and not have a problem being rated fucking R.
Probably not.
Listen, we talk about
we watch Dungeon. We watch fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Dragon, whatever. What the fuck?
House of Dragon.
House of Dragon.
You just combine Game of Thrones and House of Dragon. I like that. Thanks. That's good.
Dude, it's the most violent show on TV, and it's the best. It's the highest rated. This brought HBO Max back. House of Dragons. Sorry.
Yeah.
This is the only other web series that's competing besides Amazon is competing with Disney Plus right now, hands down.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna. I know we're running in almost 50 minutes here, so I'm gonna do a quick wrap. Here's all I will say. You guys, the audience, our audience, we want to hear from you. What did you think about Black Adam? I think my quote on this show is numbers don't lie. 93% audience rating, positive. I think that says it all. A lot of people love The Rock. The movie, from an audience perspective, was well received. Critics hit it a little harder.
Fucking critics. Don't listen to fucking critics ever again.
True. I would be honest with you guys. This is just me. I think these guys would agree with me too. If you see things on I'm not going to call out Rotten Tomatoes specifically, but if you see things from critics like that, go to the movie and form your own opinion if you want to see it. Because if you're a fan of The Rock and if you're a fan of superheroes, you'll go and have a good time watching this movie. You're not going to walk out being like, oh, I hated my experience of this movie tonight. You'll be like, it was okay. Like, you'll be like, it was a good time. I enjoyed it. I would see it again, type of thing. But anyway, on that note, I do want to say, drop your comments below. Let us know what you thought about Black Adam. Thursdays, we do our live show. So obviously there'll probably be some more Black Adam talk. If we get the rest of the guys here, maybe a little bit more, we'll see what happens. But find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Just let us know what you thought about Black Adam. We appreciate you guys kicking it with us, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Black Adam or Superman? Tell us
let us know. Yeah, what do you think? Who's winning the fight? Black Adam, Superman.
Black Adam.
Let us know in the comments. Let's go.
Let's go.